What if your pet bunny was the size of a golden retriever? Or if ants were longer than your thumb? No, this isn't sci-fi. These giant animals are real, and they're wild. We're talking supersized versions of everyday creatures that look like nature hit the zoom button. From flying foxes with 5-foot wings to clams that weigh more than you, this lineup will shock you. They're not mutants or experiments, just naturally gigantic species that actually exist. Ready to feel small? Let's meet the 20 giant animals that are too big to believe, but way too real to ignore. The Flemish giant rabbit is the heavyweight champ of bunnies, tipping the scales at up to 20 pounds and stretching more than 2.5 feet long. Originally bred in Belgium for meat and fur, this rabbit has become a gentle, laid-back pet. It lounges like a small dog, flopping into laps or claiming your couch. With ears like satellite dishes and a calm temperament, it's a giant puffball that proves rabbits can be both adorable and colossal. The giant African snail is the skyscraper of snails, growing up to 8 inches long and weighing over a pound. Native to East Africa, it's now considered an invasive species in many places, eating over 500 types of plants. This oversized mollusk can cause serious agricultural damage and even spread parasites. Despite its harmless-looking shell, it's banned in several countries. It's the kind of garden visitor you'll remember, and not necessarily in a good way. With a wingspan reaching nearly 5 feet, the giant golden-crowned flying fox is one of the world's largest bats. Native to the Philippines, it glides through the canopy like a shadow, living off fruit and helping forests regenerate by spreading seeds. Despite its size, it's a gentle creature, not the blood-sucking menace of legend. Roosting in colonies and sporting golden fur around its head, this sky glider is more forest gardener than fearsome beast. The Goliath bird-eater is the heavyweight of spiders, measuring up to 12 inches across and weighing over 6 ounces. Found in South America's rainforests, it mostly eats insects but occasionally snags frogs or small birds. It's got fangs strong enough to puncture skin, but its venom is mild to humans. Covered in bristly hairs and capable of hissing, it's a walking horror movie prop. Only real. Don't worry, though. It's more shy than sinister. The Chinese and Japanese giant salamanders are ancient aquatic giants, reaching over 5 feet long. Living in cool, rocky streams, these amphibians are nocturnal hunters that use vibrations to detect prey. With wrinkled skin and a head shaped like a boulder, they often blend in with their surroundings. Sadly, habitat loss and overharvesting have pushed them toward extinction. These living fossils have barely changed in millions of years and desperately need protection to avoid vanishing forever. The giant anteater is a termite-munching beast measuring over 7 feet from snout to tail. Found in Central and South America, it sports shaggy fur, a long snout, and a sticky tongue that can flick out 150 times a minute. It devours tens of thousands of ants daily with no need for teeth. While mostly slow-moving and peaceful, it can wield huge claws when threatened. It's strange, quiet, and seriously committed to pest control. South America's giant otter is the top boss of river life. Stretching over 6 feet, it's the longest otter species and lives in family groups that hunt together with military-like precision. Sleek and vocal, these otters chatter constantly, using over a dozen sounds. They feast on fish, crustaceans, and even caimans. Once hunted nearly to extinction, they're making a comeback but still face threats. Cute as they are, they rule the rivers like furry submarines. The giant isopod looks like a pill bug from your nightmares. Found deep in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, it can grow over a foot long and survives in total darkness. It scavenges dead whales and fish, sometimes fasting for years between meals. With a hard exoskeleton and way too many legs, it's like an armored vacuum cleaner of the sea. Creepy? Definitely. But it's one of nature's most efficient deep-sea recyclers. Scolopendra gigantea, the Amazonian giant centipede, is one critter you don't want under your bed. Stretching over a foot long, it's a fast, venomous predator that feeds on frogs, insects, mice, and even bats. Native to South American rainforests, it moves like a slithering nightmare through the underbrush. Its bite isn't fatal to humans, but it's extremely painful. If centipedes had a horror movie, this one would be the star. Nature made it big and bold. The harpy eagle is like a jungle warrior with wings, boasting a wingspan up to 7 feet and talons as big as a bear's claws. Native to Central and South America, it's one of the most powerful raptors alive. It swoops through the forest hunting monkeys and sloths, and its piercing eyes and feathered crown give it a royal look. Sadly, it's threatened by deforestation, but in the canopy, it remains the undisputed ruler. Shells don't always mean small. The giant river turtle of the Amazon can weigh over 200 pounds and moves like an underwater tank. Meanwhile, the Galapagos tortoise lumbers across dry islands, stretching over 5 feet long and living more than 100 years. Though one glides and the other plods, both are gentle giants in their ecosystems. They remind us that even the slowest animals can carry huge importance and a lot of shell. The giant clam is a bivalve built like a vault, reaching over 4 feet wide and weighing up to 440 pounds. It lives in coral reefs, pulling double duty by filtering water and housing algae that feed it with sunlight. Despite old myths, it doesn't eat divers, but its massive, colorful body is unforgettable. With a lifespan of up to 100 years, it's a reef elder, calm, giant, and glowing with living energy. The giant forest ant of Southeast Asia can grow up to 1.2 inches long, huge for an ant. These night foragers form massive underground colonies and follow coordinated trails through the jungle. Despite their intimidating size, they're not aggressive unless provoked. But don't test them, they bite hard. Think of them as the blue-collar giants of the insect world, disciplined, strong, and always working. If ants ran a construction crew, these would be the supervisors. The giant petrel isn't your average seabird. With a wingspan up to 7 feet, it cruises the frigid Southern Ocean hunting live prey and scavenging like a feathered vulture. Penguins, seals, whale carcasses, nothing's off the menu. It's aggressive, bold, and built for icy endurance. But watch it soar, and you'll see grace too. Despite its reputation, it's a survival artist, perfectly adapted to one of Earth's harshest environments. Call it a brute with wings and poise. The Komodo dragon is the king of lizards, growing over 10 feet long and weighing up to 150 pounds. Native to Indonesia, it's got venomous saliva, armored skin, and stealthy ambush skills. Deer, pigs, and even water buffalo are fair game. It's basically a living dinosaur with a forked tongue and a deadly bite. While it rules its island home, it's vulnerable to habitat loss. Majestic and menacing, it's a reminder of evolution's wilder side. Wallace's giant bee is the world's largest bee, with a wingspan of 2.5 inches and jaws like a tiny bear trap. Native to Indonesia, it nests inside termite mounds and was thought extinct until rediscovered in 2019. Though it looks terrifying, it's shy and solitary, rarely stinging. Its enormous size and rarity make it a symbol of how little we still know about remote ecosystems and how important it is to protect what's left. Madagascar's elephant bird stood 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000 pounds, making it the largest bird to ever walk the earth. Though flightless, it laid eggs bigger than footballs and looked like an ostrich crossed with a tank. It went extinct about 1,000 years ago, likely due to human hunting. Fossils of its eggshells still turn up today. It was an evolutionary heavyweight that ruled the island until people showed up. The giant weta is New Zealand's massive cricket-like bug that weighs more than a sparrow. Reaching over 2 ounces, it's one of the heaviest insects alive. Slow, peaceful, and flightless, it thrives on predator-free islands where it munches on leaves and looks like it escaped from a fantasy novel. Though it might give you the creeps, it's harmless and important to local ecosystems. Think of it as nature's clunky, lovable insect relic. The giant trevally is a reef thug with fins, growing over 5 feet long and weighing up to 150 pounds. Found in the Indo-Pacific, it's an aggressive predator known for charging through schools of fish and even snatching birds mid-flight. Sport fishers love its power, but it's more than a trophy. It's a key reef predator. Fast, fearless, and strategic, this silver torpedo proves that not all big fish are just big. Some are smart too. The giant armadillo is South America's armored bulldozer. It can grow over 5 feet long, weigh up to 100 pounds, and digs like it owns the ground. With massive claws and over 100 teeth, the most of any land mammal, it's perfectly built to bust into termite mounds. Despite its intimidating looks, it's shy and nocturnal. It creates burrows so big other animals use them too. Quietly powerful, it shapes the landscape while staying almost completely out of sight. And that's a wrap for today. But don't worry, that was just the tip of iceberg. For more jaw-dropping discoveries, check our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe us.